HOA or condo association. So I listed 10, and then I'm going to ask you guys at the end to add any more that you think are reasons not to purchase into an HOA. And if you want to add reasons why you think an HOA is good, which I know they're supposed to, they say increase your property value, which is only a myth. Actually, it doesn't increase your property value, and they have not any studies to prove that it does. Yes, if you have a strict board, they can keep the property very nice, but that's only one vote away. Everything's always one vote away to change. So you need to know why I think you shouldn't buy into a condo association, and then I'm going to ask you to share your reasons of why you wouldn't. I know we all have had some issues, so let's share them. Number one, the first thing I think is because you lose your constitutional rights. When you sign that deed, you are giving up your rights, and I didn't give up my rights. So there was nothing in the contract that said that I was giving up my rights. It said that the board and the association had to follow all laws, federal, state, local, municipal, all of the laws it had to follow. So they violated that, not me, and that is the one reason why I think that they are very unconstitutional, and our Attorney General should step in and defend those rights. Number two, you have no power over your property or investment. A board of 5 people make all decisions for your money. So think about, do you want somebody else making the decisions for your money, or would you like to use that money and make those decisions? I think it would have been great. I think, we were paying $500 a month into an HOA that wasn't doing anything for us. The insurance wasn't covering us, nothing was doing it. So they were just profiting from our demise. So think about that one. Number 3, attorneys don't have to follow the Fair Collection laws. All attorneys in the U.S. have to follow fair collection laws, and what that means is they can't they can't just charge you whatever they want per hour. They can't charge you $3,000 per hour and then demand it due in 15 days. There has to be a contract and all that for most attorneys. Well, in HOA, if you are having a dispute with your board, the attorney can charge whatever they feel like. It could be $3,000, it could be $5,000. If they're having to spend any amount of time on you, they will charge your account. Your assessments will have to cover that. So make sure that you write to your Attorney General and tell them, hey, it is not fair that these attorneys don't have to follow the Fair Collection laws and can charge me $3,000 for one thing and then put me into foreclosure in 90 days for that one thing. All right, your contract, number 4, is really a deed and gives all powers and decisions to a board of inexperienced volunteers. The board is your neighbors. They have no experience, and then they get on these boards and they send them to training at CAI, Community Associations Institute, and they train them how to put liens on you and foreclose. If your association's past due accounts are only $10,000 and you're paying $38,000 for attorneys to collect those fees, it doesn't make sense, and your board is mismanaging your money. So because they're inexperienced volunteers, the people that are profiting from them are charging them crazy amounts. I've seen attorneys charge up to $38,000 to $40,000 in a year. Property managers charging $68,000. Their fee is supposed to be $36,000, but they charge $68,000 because they had to mitigate between neighbors. That's really not a good thing. So neighbors should not be judging neighbors. The board should not be jury, judge, and executioner. Anything over $20 should have to go to the courts. And if they want to fight it in small claims court, I think that's a great idea. I think if a board wants to fine you, they should have to take you to small claims court where a judge is there to moderate the setting. It is unfair for these neighbors that you could have conflict with and may not like you to be judging you at all times. Number 5. The board that's inexperienced, remember, can put a lien on your home for any reason. If they want to charge you $3,000 with attorney's fees and $500 in whatever fees they want to charge you, guess what? That money can make a lien put on your home. If you don't pay it within the by the 15th of the month. So they don't even give you 30 days. You have to pay it with your assessment, or your assessments go past due. So as soon as your assessments pass due, that's how they start to put you into foreclosure. Now, Washington State, you had to be 6 months in past due assessments before they could put a lien on your home. Well, guess what? They just skipped that because they just charge you the $3,000 in attorney fees. Now your assessments are over $3,000, the required amount to put a lien and foreclose on your home. Number 6, they can foreclose in 90 days. That is crazy. The mortgage can't even foreclose on you. You have to be given alerts. You have to be given notices. Well, guess what the HOA's notice of lien is? Your resale cert that you signed when you purchased a home. That's your notice of lien. And they can put a lien on your home for any reason, and they can foreclose over your mortgage. So you'll still be responsible for your mortgage payment, and you won't have your home anymore. The board will own it, and they will sell it off, and they'll buy in a sheriff's sale. They'll buy it back, they'll rent it out, they'll fix it up using your dues, and then guess what? They'll let it go to the mortgage company when that mortgage company forecloses on you. So that's the scheme. Be aware of it. All right, number 7. The board can increase assessments at any time. So usually they do it at the annual budget meeting every once a year, but they can increase it as much as they need to. So if they want to increase, I think our last assessment increase was 14%. And they can up it as much as they want. And they use the reserve studies to justify why they have to charge those assessments. They can charge special assessments for anything they want. Their attorney fees that they use to foreclose on you, they can charge that to the homeowners as a special assessment if you've bought them. It's just so unreal what these attorneys get away with in HOA. They wouldn't get away with this in any other industry. And even the foreclosure attorneys that help people in foreclosure, they are fighting against CAI and the lobbyists that want these laws because it's hurting their business. It hurts when a mortgage company, you lose your home for a $50 fine that may or may not you may not have committed, and they get to foreclose on it. It is unconstitutional and unfair and unethical. And I think the HOA attorneys that are doing it should be disbarred. Number 8, there is no governance or accountability by the government. So the Attorney General's office has no power over them. Their Secretary of State can't pull their licensing. It's just almost unreal that the Attorney General, especially of Washington, who has said nobody's above the Constitution, HOAs and condo associations are more than above the Constitution. They're above everybody. They can do whatever they want, and the Attorney General will turn his back on you and say, can't help you, sorry. So think about that. The Attorney General said all powerful, our governance over the legal system in your state, and they have no power over these corporations that are incorporated in your state. They should have to follow the corporation laws. Could you imagine if Microsoft or Boeing abused people, their employees, like we get abused? It's just unreal what they can get away with. So that's another reason. Let's see, number 9. A trades group of attorneys, PMs, insurance companies, construction companies, they create laws and profit from them. And the way they do this is by making laws that benefit them, benefit their industry. If an attorney doesn't have to follow the fair collection laws, that is benefiting his industry. So when these HOA attorneys don't follow the Constitution or allow you to have your constitutional rights, they're violating their ethics. Well, if they don't have to follow the rules of professional conduct because they're an HOA attorney, what makes them so special? I have to ask the Washington State Board of Attorneys, what makes these attorneys so special? Why are they above the law? Why are they above their rules of professional conduct? Why would you allow them to get away with these things? So I'll have to tag them on this one when I go on Twitter. Number 10, the law discriminates against homeowners, and we have a heavier burden in court. So if you don't like what your board is doing, your only recourse is civil court. Well, civil court is a minimum of $15,000 plus your attorneys, plus everything else. And then if you lose, you have to pay the HOA's attorney fees and all the fees that they spent mitigating against you. So it is, and oh yeah, in the meantime, you're paying for their attorneys because you have to pay assessments, which pay for their attorneys, and then you have to pay for your attorneys on the other side. And HOA attorneys, they get paid no matter what. It doesn't matter if they win or lose. So they drag it out. They extend the deadlines. It takes a case that would take 6 months in any other world will take 4 to 5 years, sometimes longer in HOA, because these attorneys know how to profit from your demise. They are expert at it. If you ever go into a lawsuit, I do not recommend an HOA experienced attorney, and I would never recommend a CAI attorney because they only protect the associations. And guess what? The associations are we the people. So we the people need to step up and start saying no more. Enough is enough, and speaking up matters. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Add what you want, and I hope to get all your feedback on this. And if you think that HOA is wonderful, please let me know why you feel that it's that it's constitutional to take away these rights from homeowners, because I'd really like to know the other side of it. Why somebody would feel that it's good to take somebody's home for a $50 fine with no evidence and allow a board to be jury, judge, and executioner. All right, see ya.